Hello, everybody. My name is Zerduku, and welcome to another book. This is the episode 5 of Sarah Drake, and this time, instead of having my sister Akari, I have my best friend Will, the gun kid here. So he'll be reading this for now, since my sister abandoned me. Yes, sad stuff later. But anyways, let's get started. The Adventures of Sarah and Drake. Please put on your headphones.
Alright, take your seatbelts, passengers. This will be a bumpy ride.
Consider seatbelts buckled. What are you doing?
There's already technical difficulties. We need flight deck on standby.
The captain is here. Let's scroll down slowly.
Chapter 1. Captain Mr. Cutler. One school, one school morning, a couple of weeks after Michelle caused some problems at the school dance, she was called to the principal's office again. As Michelle opened the principal's door, slightly peeking her head out and giving him puppy dog eyes, she says, "Yes, Mr. Waxmore?" With a fake, adorable, shy girl voice. "Come on in, Michelle," the principal said, seasonally unfazed by her attempt to sweet talk him.
What
"Yes,
kind
Principal
of
Max."
reading is that? Never mind, just keep going.
"Don't question art." "Yes, Principal Waxmore," she said with her adorable voice as she walks in, seeing him and his secretary next to him. "After the damages that you did with your friends, I am going to have you and all of your dear friends stay for summer school," explained the principal. "What? But why?" Michelle says with surprise. "You and your friends will be going to summer school where you will spend your punishment there," explained the principal. At that at the time, Michelle thought to herself that it's not so bad because it's going to be a summer school. However, she was unsure on what was all the impulse. "Well, Principal," asked Michelle nervously, in fear that she might get in trouble for asking what she wants to ask. "What is it, Michelle?" said the principal as he stared at her with an impatient and yet angry glare. "Well, I don't want to make you any more angry than you are, but I'd like to enroll my friend Drake into school with me. Is that okay?" She asked, with her hands behind her back and her foot twisted onto the floor, looking at the principal with puppy dog eyes. As a reply that Prince as a response, the principal took a minute to think about her question before answering. "Well, actually, I would like to speak to him, but to enroll him into the school would be a good idea because then I could punish all of you for the damages that you've done to the school," responded the principal with a very calm voice. "Okay then. Is it possible for me to make you forget all the damages we've done to the school?" Michelle poked her fingers together and gave the principal puppy dog eyes once more, as it attempted to charm him. As a response to the question, Mr. gave a extremely pissed off look and accidentally break his pencil in his hands. "We're taking back your statement." Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going back to class now," said Michelle as she begged in terror. Some unorthodox school.
What?
This is very unorthodox. And what damages they do, I'm just getting back to reading.
Well, maybe I'll show you another
Yeah,
time.
tell me after post credits. You may want to go back to class now, said the principal, as he quickly responded. Michelle ran as fast as she could out of the principal's office, praying that he wouldn't change his mind. Sir, just as quick as a reminder, Drake is a dragon, right? Do you think this would be wise to enroll a dragon into our school, or any school for that matter? The principal secretary asked. Good question. Do you have any problem with how I do things around here? Said the principal as he gave a pissed off look to his secretary. No, 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 sir. Don't mind me. I'm just thinking out loud. Responded the secretary with a nervous look to her face. In any event, the reason why I agreed to our terms is because the world is getting too dangerous again. In order to ensure safety for our next generation, we need to make as many powerful allies as possible, explained the principal. Dangerous, sir? Could you please do me a favor and explain because I don't know what you're talking about? Asked the secretary. Well, I'm not surprised. Well, it's not surprising, since you're new here. What happened to the last secretary? I don't want to know. So I'll do the best to explain. There's been many parts in the world that are a lot more dangerous than here. However, regardless of what you are, danger always lurks. Where you are, danger lurks. You must always have a open eye to watch the dangerous clouds gather, explained Principal. Are you trying to tell me that magic still exists in the world? That's just silly. There's no such thing as magic, and there's never was. There's a dragon. Okay, said to oblivious secretary. Those of the words of someone who believes the world is finally at peace. However, the reality is that it never will be in peace. As sad as it is, but it doesn't matter. We are not in control of the dark clouds, but we always to be prepared for the heavy showers and thunderstorms, explained the principal with his wisdom. Yeah, I guess you're right. Non-committal, but sure, whispered the principal, whispered the secretary. 2 days later, Drake is standing at the bus stop sign on a sidewalk about less than 50 feet from the mansion. Well, look at what we got here. Well, look at me. Actually, I thought I was a bully. Never mind. Retractment. Well,
Retract that.
look at me. Look at me now. I look like a normal student going to school. Just what I've always wanted, Drake thought to himself, with sarcasm. Well, guess it's better than having to deal with the slave driver, Sarah, to clean up the mansion. By the way, in order to buy her to her dead parents, I really wish she would just learn to let me relax, Drake thought to himself.
Lazy ass.
Seriously. Sometimes someone tells me this experience is going to be terrible, Drake whispered under his breath to himself. Drake shouted a familiar female voice. Down the sidewalk. Drake looked to his left, looked to see Michelle run as fast as she could to wave at him. Drake watched her and kind of flinched before Michelle stopped in her tracks in front of him, afraid that she would going to run over him. So Drake, are you happy to go to school with little old me with Michelle with puppy dog eyes? How many times did she do it? I swear, if she,
Many times because she tries to make herself look cute even though she's not.
we all know someone who's like that.
What?
Personal stories. Anyway, sigh. Well, it's better than cleaning a mansion and being bossed around by an evil ghost girl all day. It sounds like a weird plot to anime.
Um, I wouldn't actually. You know what? I do put a lot of dang gun anime references in the story, so maybe
That
this is.
explains why she feels like a manga with no pictures. Drake responds with frustration in his voice as he crosses his arms, closing his eyes. Oh, what? Oi, what's the matter? What's the matter? You don't want to go to school with me? I promise I'll show you all the secret places where we can talk to each other. I have no idea how far into this. I'm not prepared for this. Michelle said with a loud voice. You just
Sorry,
shout out to the heavens.
I totally forgot just how lewd this dang gun little girl
This
Michelle
is
is.
literally an anime. This is literally an ecchi anime. Listen, speaking of that, Michelle, can we maybe talk in private for a few seconds? Said Drake with a serious voice as an immediate response with Michelle. She looked. She had a confused look on her face before she answered. Okay. Michelle was stopped with some hesitation. Drake then lead her behind a tree to begin talking. After the dance we had together, I did a lot of thinking. Sound reasonable? I have to be honest with you, Michelle. The truth is, I like you as a friend. I don't think I could ever like you the way that you want me to like you. You understand? Friend zoned.
Oh, yeah, okay. I actually
But
didn't
this time
realize
it's the
what
male
what
doing
a
the friend
stab.
zones.
Yes, that was a hell of a stab.
Explained Drake with seriousness. You could have been a little bit more gentle. But I mean, how else can you word it like that?
Um,
Anyway, when I had some fascination with Oscar, he would never tell me things like that. He would never confront me. He would never bother to try to say anything about us. Then when you come along and show me that you had power to protect me at all cost of your own life, the cost of your own life, I decided to show you the same affections for you, and you did something I didn't expect. You confronted me and tried to acknowledge my feelings. The truth is, I don't know what to say in this situation. I mean, how can someone respond? Maybe I'm just too young. Shall I say a single tear? How old are these? Oh, they sound like teenagers.
uh, you know what? Just keep going and just go with it. That's all I can
Maybe.
say.
But the thing is, Michelle, I just want to live and relax. I'm not looking for a relationship because I don't think I could ever find anyone else. Anyway, I'm the last of my kind, and I expect that to be at a long time. Explained Drake. Drake, remember that you're just because you're last of your kind doesn't mean you shouldn't. Doesn't mean you're alone. Michelle said Michelle as she her hands and hold her hands in friendship. In response, held her hand out in friendship. As a response, Drake accepted the hand of friendship with a handshake and a smile of joy. As Michelle and Drake stared at each other with a smile of joy, they were interrupted when the bus arrived. Immediately, Michelle picked up her bag and ran towards the bus with Drake just slightly behind. Come on, let's go, shouted Michelle with happiness. Don't worry, the coolest dragon is just right behind you. He has that laid back energy, but he's sometimes serious. I can feel it. Drake responded as he's following her into the bus. Michelle and Drake got into the bus and they picked their seats and sat together on their way to the school. When they arrived, they made their way inside where all the kids are staring at Drake. Cool. I mean, it's his dragon. You see your wings. Cool, said one of the students as they watched. Dude, look, a dragon, said another student, pointing his finger in amazement. He's a bit short for a dragon. Low blow, said another
Well,
student.
that's true, but it's a young dragon. What do you want?
This is amazing. This is awesome. They're actually letting a dragon in the school. A new, our student said another student as Drake continued to walk by looking from left to right. Huh, maybe this won't be so bad after all, said Drake with prideful smile. Do me a favor, Drake, and don't let all that flame go to your head. I like that, asked Michelle as she gave everyone an intimidating glare. Immediately, all other students were scared. Who, me? You're looking at the coolest dragon of all time. I deserve all the fame. Drake responded with a smile. Hi, guys, said a familiar nerdy voice. Drake and Michelle looked to see Victor, Bulk, and Oscar, waiting for them. So, I see that you're now one of us, Drake, said Oscar, with a very bored, non-emotional tone. He is in of us. He is in one of his moods again. Michelle thanks to herself.
That's one hell of a stutter.
Yes, that's why I said prepare for a bumpy ride.
Uh,
I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see that nearly all the members are together in school. Oscar thinks to himself, but at the same time keeps a blank look on his face. Why is he such an why is he such in a foul mood? Foul mood. Bulk thinks to himself. A lot of people are thinking. Anyways,
thinking, bruh.
ignore the co-pilot.
But I'm the
Anyways,
captain.
guys, I did some research and found out that we're all going to summer school, summer camp, because of what happened between Michelle and Glenn. Explained Victor as he pushed up his glasses. I hope you're not talking about that summer camp in Shadow Woods that is meant for misbehaving children, misbehaving kids. Shadow Woods. Ominous. Oscar responded. Why? What's so scary about Shadow Woods? Asked Michelle.
uh, you're thinking, well, look at the name.
Oh, I will tell you later, said Bloke with a sinister grin. Said Oscar as he rolled his eyes. Michelle and Drake looked confused, but before they could do any more conversation, continue, the bell rang and everyone went to class. Halfway, halfway through the school day, Drake and Michelle and the other four kids are now in their science class. After all students sat down, there was a tall, young-looking, nerdy man in the door entrance of the science classroom. He has green hair and large square-sized glasses. He walked in front of the entire class and opened a book. Okay, everyone. As everyone knows, my name is Mr. Cutler. I am your science teacher, and it seems we have a new student. Our new student is Drake. Uh, Dragon. What is his? Whatever his name is. It's time for us to continue as our on our understanding of human biology. That's health class. Whatever,
Doubt. That was my fault.
said Mr. Keller as he puts a mannequin in front of the classroom and removes a piece of the fallen fake human organs. Mr. Keller picks up a pencil and starts pointing at some of the inner organs.
Oh my god. Why did I not think this was a health class instead of science? What's wrong with me? I'm an idiot.
Our co-pilot in the background's having a tough time. Now, children, what you see is the human heart. Very different from the typical cartoonish heart shape, isn't it? Said Mr. Keller. Miss Keller takes one look at a class and looks at the corner of class, looking at Drake. For a second, he starts a bubble with his pencil and losing his glasses. Over he managed to compose himself quickly enough to not drop his pencil and lose his glasses. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Drake is a real dragon. From my understanding, dragons are supposed to be extinct. This is like semi. I'm trying to think of the word. It's semi-conscious and non-conscious anime. Well, Drake supposed to be extinct. Mr. Oh, he says in his head. Mr. Cutler thinks to himself. Mr. Cutler stands up properly and pushes his glasses up in his face to compose himself. Well, well, it seems the opportunity lays in my hands. If I capture a dragon, oh, good lord. If I can capture this dragon and dissect him, good lord, man. Pretty sure half all kids have many brain cells, the adults have only 3. And dissect him, learn things no other scientist could. I could become the most famous scientist in the entire world. Mr. Collar thinks to himself. As Mr. Collar go back to teaching class, at the same time thinking,
Oh my god.
I know I'm not supposed to do anything to harm children. But this has to be an exception.
I think my
He's just an
gonna
animal,
die.
right? Good. You're trying to humanize a person that acts human, looks human, but is actually a dragon. It doesn't matter if I disassemble him a little so I can learn new things. Besides, whatever I can learn, I could teach the kids later once I finish dissecting them. That's beyond words to comprehend. What I just read. The way this man can justify dissecting a kid. I'm just gonna continue. Mr. Carver was thinking the kid, teaching the kids, and he was plotting a way to catch Drake. At some point, the bell rings. And all kids start to walk out. All right, kids, you are dismissed, except for you, Drake. Blunt forward.
What the fuck does that mean?
Wait for the bell to ring. Kids leave. Stay, new student. We have to catch up on something. This is not going to end well. Said Mr. Cutler with a sinister grin.
Silly this was.
Drake had a queer, confused look on his face. But Michelle looked at Drake and said, "Don't worry, Drake. It's probably nothing. Mr. Cutler is always is a very nice teacher." Said Michelle. "Don't worry about me, Michelle. After all, nothing scares me because I'm the coolest dragon ever." Drake responds with a prideful smile. Yeah, so this is a weird relationship between these two.
Oh my god.
Michelle responds as she pat Drake on the head and then leave. She's like an extroverted type of child. After all the kids left the class, Drake walked up to Mr. Keller with ignorance. "What's up, Teach? Did you want something?" "It talks." Mr. Keller thinks to himself. How, if he wasn't able to talk, why is he in school?
Oh my god.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore.
Hindsight is 2020.
15-15.
Okay. Agreed. I'll take it.
Well, I want, there, Mr. Dragon, I want you to lay down on this table. I'll take a look at your insides. Straight, holy shit. I thought the top one was button forward. This one's just saying just lay down table and fucking die. Like he is.
Oh my god.
Said Mr. Color as he pulled out scalpel from his pocket. Someone needs to fucking fire all these teachers. Hold on a second. I think I have something. I have something stuck in my ear because I could have sworn you told me you want me to lay down at the table while you cut me open, right? Drake said there was giggle. That's right, Mr. Dragon. Good lord, this guy sounds like a fucking Crocker.
What?
If you don't know who it is,
yeah, I know who that is. I never thought of Mr. Cutler as
what's your next Star Spark? Dragon, dragon, dragon.
It's like it's like fairies.
Now come here, my little prize of fame, said Mr. Color as he very creepily reaches for Drake. Air the spawn. Drake's face slowly goes from confusion to fear as he screams and flies away as fast as can. Wait a minute, you forgot he had wings, did you? Oh, I'm gonna love reading this next one.
Dumb.
Said
Who the
Mr.
fuck is
Cutler.
up?
Mr. Cutler sounds like Crocker, just spelled differently. As he reaches for Drake's tail, but he misses it and falls onto the floor face first. Mr. Cutler gets up with an angry look and chases after Drake around the classroom. What the hell is wrong with you? That's the most realistic sentence I have ever heard in a statement. That asks several questions and asks several statements. Shouted Drake in terror as he
Will's gonna kill me.
So nasty. He's flapping his wings, trying to get away from Mr. Cutler as he reaches for him. Nothing is wrong with me. Now get back here so I can cut you open. Mr. Cutler responded as he reaches around the classroom trying to catch Drake. Drake purposely flies into the door and pushes it open and flies down the hallway away from the crazy teacher. Mr. Cutler continues to chase Drake down the hallway. Stop chasing me! I'm not some frog you can just cut open. Seriously, this is literally like some self-aware anime. A nice teacher at first, when he sees Dragon, switch, for no fucking reason, swaps, humanity gone.
It's... Oh my god.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
No, you're not. That's why
I have to say it's a combination of cartoons and anime.
This is literally what it is. No, you're not. And that's why you're so special. Good lord, this fucker is Crocker.
Only that he doesn't go dragon every now and then.
Shouted Mr. Crocker. In a very crazy.
He's
Crocker. He's Crocker now. He's literally Crocker. This is the best way I can do.
Well, the audience should be able to see the words so they can read it themselves. It's Mr. Cutler.
Don't believe my words. This is Cutler, and this is Crocker.
We're gonna get confused, aren't we?
All right, just say it. This is Crocker. This is literally Crocker. Fuck the spell, and it's Crocker. Yelled Mr. Crocker in a very crazy voice, as he continues to chase Drake in the fucking hallway. Where the fucking kids go? Is this Hogwarts?
In their class.
Is this fucking Hogwarts, for God's sakes? Drake continues to fly away from Mr. Crocker,
but you will find out.
and in an effort to attempt to lose him, he takes a sharp turn, but Mr. Crocker easily makes the turn. This is persistence. Drake then decided to open up a door to the school's gym and successfully does so. When he makes his way through, he flies by a bunch of other children. And also Mr. Crocker. Mr. Crocker makes his way into the gym and tries to stop him. He runs right into Mr. Crocker. Ouch. What was that?
Mrs. Clover.
Mrs. Clover. Ah. Alright. New teacher. Hopefully has better brain cells. Not getting a good standard here. Let's try it. He flies by a bunch of other children, and also Mrs. Clover. Mr. Crocker makes his way into the gym and tries to stop him. He runs right into Mrs. Clover. Ouch! Ouch! What does the meaning of this? Said Mrs. Clover in anger as she stood right up, rubbing her head. Mr. Mr. Crocker stands right up, also rubbing his head. Nothing, just a little bit of a science experiment that escaped, Mr. Crocker explains. Don't listen to him. That guy is crazy. Like, don't listen to him. That guy is a lying crazy bastard and is trying to cut me open, said, said Drake as he's flying 10 feet, math wrong, 10 feet above everyone. Watch your mouth, Drake. I'm already getting low standards with this teacher. Watch your mouth, Drake, shouted Mrs. Clover. Amongst the 11 students in the gymnasium, all four of the four kids. Is all four of the four kids.
Oh, four of the kids are there, yeah.
Is that what's going on? Asked Bulk. I thought Mr. Crocker was a nice teacher.
You were wrong, Michelle. Dead wrong.
What's wrong with him? Asked Michelle. I don't know what. We'll find out. Find out, I guess. Oscar responded. Mr. Albert Crocker. We do not hurt students in our school. Explained Mrs. Clover. You know, Mrs. Clover, you should really stay out of scientific business. After all, how can a dragon be a student? I'm beyond words. He's just another science project for me to explore, asked Mr. Crocker. Apparently you cannot tell the difference between a student and an animal. Goes to show I was right. There should have got a different. They should have got a different science teacher for the school, said Mrs. Clover, flipping her hair behind her. And they should have thought of twice before hiring a female leprechaun to teach at a school. Jesus fucking Christ. You have some active imagination.
Thank you.
At least this ain't Lovecraftian.
Well, no,
Don't you fucking think of it.
I just did.
God damn it. I'm sorry, viewers. You. How dare you? All students proceed into the bleachers while I handle this, said Mrs. Clover, pointing to the bleachers and cracking her knuckles. I swear to God, if she doesn't clock this fucker, I swear to God. So, deck this fucker. Yes, Mrs. said all students as they walked over to the bleachers.
It's actually yes, miss.
And Drake followed them as well, sitting down. After all students sat down, Mrs. Clover looked at Mr. Crocker. Someone needs to teach you some manners to know how to speak to a lady. Oh, this is getting good.
This does get good. And it gets weird, too. It gets really weird.
And just for the record, I'm only half leprechaun. Oh, there's some fantastical species in this. This is a magic school. We'd have, I don't know, said Mrs. Clover as she crossed her arms, holding her hands holding her hands upwards and out of her sleeves came 2 roses. Don't speak to me about the technicalities. I am an actual scientist, and you are just a lower-ranking teacher. Jesus Christ. He sounds like Professor Snape if he was more of a dick.
Times 100.
At least he had some manners.
Yeah.
Give him some.
At least Professor Snake was a somewhat nicer character. This Mr. Cutler here is a
Is a
downright
deranged psychopath to be put down for the sake of everyone.
Psychopath.
His humanity switch flipped off after he saw wings. What if you brought Bird into class? He said, wings? Oh, dissection? Someone brought a puppy. Oh, dissection?
I would be surprised.
A service dog. Oh, dissection? Put this fucker down. He's like the Joker. But more smart and more brain dead.
You want to know where I got these scars?
Said Mr. Keller as he holds his hands up and a scalpel starting to levitate on its own with a lavender string circulating around Mr. Crocker, great magic Crocker. Now, tool manipulator, said Mr. Crocker as the scalpel seemed to multiply. Then Mrs. Clover's roses grew by glow by a green aura and transformed into long thorny like vines, viwebs. Mr. Crocker points his arm forward, and all the scalpels launch at Mrs. Clover at threatening speed. This is like Dio.
What?
JoJo.
I don't. Oh, Oh, I heard of the anime.
I need culture, you.
I never watched it. I just seen.
After this, we're watching one YouTube video showing a battle.
I just heard that from when I heard that anime from a friend of mine on Discord. I forget his name.
After this, we're gonna.
Cyborg Noodle is his Discord name.
Mrs. Clover countered with her whip vines and knocked the scalpels off course. Mr. Crocker makes strings out of his energy and pulls the scalpels back for a number of salts. Mrs. Clover goes to whip Mr. Crocker with one of her vine whips, but Mr. Crocker swiftly dodges both vine attacks at ease. Stop being an annoying biatch. Good lord. And this is in front of kids. This guy's gonna get fired, for real. If he doesn't straight out die in front of kids.
It just didn't continue. This gets weird and awesome at the same time.
I swear to God, if he dies in front of the kids, this school should be condemned. Hogwarts may have some fucked up shit, but at least this didn't have this.
No, this might be worse than Hogwarts.
Hogwarts is a good school and all. But Hogwarts sounds better than this shit. Said Mr. Keller as he coiled his fingers as if he is holding a baseball in his hands. A lavender color sphere of energy appears, and he throws it like a ball at Mrs. Clover. Mrs. Clover immediately blocks it with her vine whips, and with connection sparks a massive explosion that catches the students off guard. Whoa, cool. The fuck's wrong with these kids?
That seems realistic to me. Everybody's sitting there at the bleachers and that happens. They're like, whoa, cool.
I take it the school's prone to teachers fighting. I swear to God, if this was in the classes to have
I've never seen this happen before.
Said some students that saw explosion. Holy shit. Those teachers don't fuck around. Drake thinks to himself. After a block explosion from the energy sphere from Mr. Crocker, Mrs. Clover counterattacks with her vine whips, going for his legs. Mr. Crocker immediately backflips. Spry fucker and deranged psychopath. Backflips over the incoming attack and sticks the landing. You get no points for me.
Bruh.
You get -10. But slightly off balance. Okay. -11. I have to say, Mr. Crocker, you're much more agile than I could have ever imagined, due to the fact that all you do is stay inside with your experience all day, said Mrs. Clover with a smile on her face, face of approval. How fucking you approve of this fucker's sentence? Bitch, please. This must be some weird millennial old man. Bitch, please. You don't know anything about me. I have a master's degree in medical science. Well, at least he has medical science. You're right in one part.
Yay! Points for me.
You have to change it to health class instead of science.
I should have had my editor fix it, but I didn't stop to think about it. I am the dumb.
And I always have to check myself every now and then to make sure I'm in peak health. Mr. Crocker responded with anger. What's the meaning of this? Said a very angry old man's voice. Both Mr. Crocker and Mrs. Clover turned to see the principal.
Thanks is what
Expulsions. Principal Waxmore. Said both Mr. Crocker and Mrs. Clover.
Clover.
They're both C's.
Yeah, I know that. They can get confusing real fast. Sorry about that, there, Will.
With absolute fear in their voices. I said once, what is the meaning of this? Said the principal with anger. Well, he has to explain to do. And many witnesses.
Yeah.
Said Mr. Crocker as he rubs his hands back at his head in nervousness. There's no way for you to get yourself out of the situation. Pack your bags and leave.
Bruh.
It's nothing, sir. It's just a minor disagreement. I'm losing faith in this woman. Minor disagreement when a student's run for his fucking life. Said Mr. Clover with a nervousness. Said Mrs. Clover with a nervous voice and a obvious sense of fear. This is not how we are an act in front of the students. As teachers, you must always set an example at all times. Do I make myself clear? Is that the only reprimand we're gonna get? Explained the principal.
He has no idea what the hell just happened.
Yes, Principal Waxmore, said both Mrs. Clover and Mr. Crocker with humility. Remove Crocker, no humility. Hold on a second. Did the principal just stop a fight between two powerful fighters? Asked Michelle with confusion and fear. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Two full-grown adults that are powerful should be able to overpower an old man. Don't underestimate wizards, said Bulk with worry in his voice. Why isn't it awe? It may be possible that we never knew our own principal at all. You have no idea what the fuck's going on, don't any of y'all fuckers. I'm already getting the vibe. Y'all just brain dead, said Oscar with a slightly calm voice. Seemingly calm voice. Yeah, to calm down a psycho like Mr. Crocker. I'm pretty sure in Drake's head, Mr. Color's now Crocker.
If you ever watched The Fairy Godparents.
He should. He's a dragon. He's going to be something that's more than meets the eye.
Transformers? Oh, sorry.
I fucking knew it.
I couldn't help it.
I was waiting for you to say it. said Drake with a slight hint of fear. All students, you are excused and should go to your classrooms. Wait until I settle this situation here, said the principal, looking at the students. Yes, Principal Waxmore, said all students in unison. As they got up and leave the gymnasium, the four kids and Drake took one last look behind at the principal, and the other two teachers before leaving the gymnasium as well. I hope you enjoyed.
Well, that's the end of the first part. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. And this is Zerduku and Will signing out.